What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode and review on The Ben Thomas Show. Thanks for coming back. 2 in 1 week. It's kind of crazy for me. I know I don't normally give you guys this much, but I got a good deal on the 2016 Toy Fair exclusive version of the Arkham Asylum Joker from Suicide Squad. And I'm on record saying Jared Leto is by far not my favorite Joker, but there was a piece of me that thought maybe I can fit this in the collection in a cool way. So it's an interesting figure. I thought I'd share it with you guys and the unboxing experience. But if you guys like the video, hit the like button, smash the subscribe if you're new to the Ben Thomas Show, and let's get into it.
I give you Ben Thomas Showdown. Here we go.
So for me, this is a good example of one of those figures that I never really wanted that badly because I never felt that nostalgic punch in the chest for the character that I always kind of talk about with regards to the rest of my figures. But as most of you know, I'm a huge Batman collector, and I've got this envisionment for my display of having kind of a top row of all the different Batmans that I can get my hands on. And I loved Harley Quinn's inclusion in the Suicide Squad film. I didn't love this movie, but I didn't think it was as bad as some people said either, and then I ultimately ended up really enjoying James Gunn's The Suicide Squad as well. So it made me want to revisit the character in the movies, and I went back and rewatched the films, and I liked it a little bit more than I had initially. You know, coming off the heat of the Joker, the Heath Ledger version.
No, you complete me.
I don't think any actor or really portrayal of the Joker would have hit the same buttons for me. And while some of the artistry here that you see in the box is definitely part of that film and is vibrant and scary looking and bloody and tattooed and all of the things, I always felt like that they were going for more of like a shock factor with this Joker than an actual real character. But I wanted to pose another Joker in my display with my Batmans because what I'm envisioning is each Batman that has an associated 6-scale Joker will essentially be paired together in the display, kind of showing that history of Batman and the Joker. This one popped up in my local comic book store, Another Dimension Comics. Great store here in Calgary if you're looking for any 1/6 scale. Now, they gave me a little bit of a discount on this figure, but not to promote them, just honestly because this figure in particular, I kind of noted that it had been sitting on the shelf for a while, and I bargained with them. I said, hey, like, if you want to get it off the shelf, I'd be willing to take it at a deal for you. And they said yes. So always be willing to chat with your store owners as well as brick and mortar folks, because sometimes these characters cost more to sit on the shelf than they do to get in collectors' hands. Now this, to me, is a lighter figure than I was expecting. You can tell that it's one of the older school bodies. Keep in mind this is from 2016, so I wasn't expecting anything really all that new feeling. I mean, this is almost a 10-year-old figure at this point. The outfit feels really interesting. The pants have this really like soft and loose material, but really good for posing. And what really stood out to me on this character is, unlike the seamless wrist pegs that we've seen in the past, this one comes with seamless foot joints, which is interesting. Now, they're not posable at all, and even in his Arkham track pants here, there's a limit, and I'm going to show you what those guys look like in a few minutes. This chair I found disappointing. It looks good, but it's super plasticky. You can feel how light it feels. The paint applications are okay. They're good for their time. Again, almost a 10-year-old figure at this point. And I like having 6-scale furniture in my display because it really changes what you can do with it. In fact, my DX11 Joker chair and table set are actually sitting right now with my TVA Loki in my display. Now, this does come with some collector playing cards as well, with Joker and Harley on the front there, as well as a cool Joker design here. Nice little inclusion, but again, something that'll stay in the box because I'd be worried I'd break them or get them bent, and if I ever wanted to sell this figure down the line, it would diminish the value of the overall set. Because this is an exclusive set, everything that comes in here is important. Now, you can take off the straitjacket on this figure if you really want to, but to be honest, I think some of the magic of this figure is the fact that he's wearing a straitjacket, so it'll stay on for me. The hexagonal base there is wildly large for such a kind of small figure overall, especially his footprint sitting down in the chair. Now, you can tilt him a couple of different ways on the chair. You can, prop him up forward. You can sit him back in the chair a little bit if you want to. It just kind of depends on what you're going with. I like spreading his legs out just a little bit. I think that looks good, but you can also put them together. I think the feet themselves are okay in the way that they're painted. They're speckled. They look like feet, especially more at a distance, but I would think in an Arkham Asylum prism, his feet would be a lot dirtier. And this is what I was talking about with regards to kind of that limitation on the ankles. As soon as you roll the pants up just a little past the shin, wow, was that freaking ugly. Wow. And covered in plastic. In fact, you actually, I think, have to take his pants off to get the plastic off. So I'm just going to leave it on. Like, who cares? Nobody's ever going to feel it. And the only way you'd even know is the fact that it crunches a little bit when you pose it. It does come with 2 hands. If you do want to take the straitjacket off, you can. It seems a little odd, but it is by far the lowest amount of figure hands I've ever received in any 6-scale box. And that's one takeaway I've got with this. As cool as this figure looks and as ominous as he looks in the chair, it's a little bit boring in terms of an unboxing experience. There's not much in the box, as you guys saw, with the exception of the chair, the 2 hands, a hexagonal base. The one piece that I did really like is the backdrop that's actually the front cover of the box. It's really cool. It's actually magnetized on the box. You can see that if you do take the outfit off, he's got some level of skin painting and his tattoos continue down his body. But for Jared Leto here, I think that this is going to be the way that I keep him. I'm not going to bother pulling that straitjacket off. If you do decide to keep him in the chair, then I don't actually think you really need the figure base, but it's nice that they gave it to you, except that I do think they could have scaled it down. I think the only reason they gave us such a big one here for the Suicide Squad Joker is because he's in a chair, so it needs a bit bigger of a footprint. But again, you don't really need a flight stand or pole for this. The bottom of the feet, I do think are a little weird. Like, they're not painted at all. They're just flat sections. And I guess I don't really know what else I would expect. If you did want to stand this guy up, he needs a flat footprint, but it looks freaking weird when you tilt him back. Now, this is the backdrop from that front of the box that I mentioned. And putting it in behind the figure, I actually think looks really good for figure photography. And I am certainly no figure photographer proper. Like, there's people who can take photos way better than me. And some of these shot on the amateur setup, I thought kind of looked cool. I even like how bright the window looks, despite there being no light in behind this box at all. It's a solid cardboard piece. Jared Leto's Joker's likeness here, considering this is nearly a 10-year-old figure, I think is fantastic. I love the weathering on the straitjacket. I think that's good. The tattoos also look good. And even the fact that he's got a bit of an open mouth is kind of gnarly and I think also well done. I think the only downfall here is that this doesn't come with rolling eyes. And because this figure has virtually no posability in his body because he's in a freaking straitjacket, having rolling eyes would have really, in my opinion, brought this figure to life. Because when you tilt him sideways, or you want to pose him sideways and have him looking still at the camera, there's only so much you can do. It's really the head turns that give you the best range of movement here, which for most collectors, I think will get old pretty damn fast. Now, at the end of the day, again, I got this guy because I'm excited to pose him with one of my Affleck Batmans. Whatever ends up becoming my definitive Affleck Batman, that's going to be the one this guy goes along with. I think that's probably going to be that BVS 2.0 reissue that's coming next year. But for me, I would still give this figure, for its age especially, an 8.5 out of 10. It looks good. It definitely looks like Jared Leto's Joker. And to be honest, other than the fact that it's a little bit boring in terms of accessories, it does exactly what it's supposed to do. It looks like a crazy, insane asylum Joker in my display, and it gives me that range of figure collecting that I was looking for. Pairing Batman with Joker, which is what I truly wanted. For the price, I would say if you can find this, definitely get it on a discount. I wouldn't pay full retail price for this figure, but if you can find it at a bargain bin price, it's kind of a fun one to add. And while I don't love Jared Leto's Joker, over time, it has grown on me, and I'm excited to see what the future of the DC universe brings us. I'm sure we'll get another Joker at some point, and even probably another Batman. So it's an exciting time to be a DC collector and fan at this point. What do you guys think of this figure? Let me know in your comments down below. I'd love to hear from you, of course. But if you like the video, hit the like button, smash the subscribe if you're new to the Ben Thomas Show, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Wow, what a great audience. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because subscribing makes you feel good.
Where shall I go? What shall I do?
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
It's gone. It's all gone.